All right, Tua, implausibly, will be the quarterback of the Dolphins for the rest of the year. And we said back in late August when this all first came up, when the deal was moving toward completion then and didn't finish, that he should just channel whatever hard feelings he may have, whatever emotional turmoil he may be experiencing as he's about to be rendered irrelevant by the Dolphins. Do what Tom Brady would do. Get pissed off and go play so well that they're not going to want Deshaun Watson. That's his opportunity for the rest of the season. That's how he has to view it. He has 9 games. If he can stay healthy, he's got 9 games to go out and convince the Dolphins to keep the guy that they have. It's all on him at this point. It's not on anyone else. So if he finds himself in this same turmoil after the season ends, it's his own fault. And look, it may not be his fault. He may just not be good enough.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
It's okay.
Too. Right.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of things in life I would have liked to do, and I wasn't good enough to do them.
Sure.
It's nobody's fault. I'm just not good enough.
Yeah.
There's a chance, no matter how hard he works, no matter how hard he tries, he's just not good enough, and he never should have been the 5th overall pick in the draft.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. All you could do is go all in, right, and just give it your best shot. I mean, that's you go after it. If it doesn't work, you could always look at yourself in the mirror and go, man, I did everything I could to make that happen. But I think your point's real. Yes, he was overdrafted 100%. He caused some issues, by his own doing a little bit. Yeah, he came to the league a little beat up, definitely, had to deal with that, but admitted that he kind of didn't realize how hard the NFL was and that he wasn't totally prepared. I mean, that's not going to, organization hears that. They're going to be like, well, that's great to hear. Great. Our 5th pick, didn't quite know the playbook or go all in on studying, and then, of course, hey, this year, getting hurt early in the year, again, it was a big hit. There's no doubt about it, but he's not a big guy like we've talked about. And, going back to the same thing, can you win with Tua? Sure. But you're going to have a real good team. He's not going to be like the guy we're talking about trading, Deshaun Watson, or some of the other talents that are around football where, oh, man, we're struggling. Tua will make a few plays for us today, and he'll help us beat the Falcons. He'll help us beat the Jaguars. No, he made a lot of good plays to make it competitive and have them there late in the game, but couldn't make the plays to kind of get them over the hump. In fact, I would argue that in the big moments, really, he made mistakes that helped them fall back down the hump, if that makes any sense there. So, I'm going to be interested to see where they go, and it's definitely a weird situation, and I'm sure he does have a little bit of a fragile mindset right now, wondering what the hell's going on. But I think the whole Dolphins organization is probably a little bit what the hell's going on right now at 1-7.
Well, that's right. And you know what? That's the other thing that we have to keep in mind. The very real possibility that when we get to March or January, February, when this thing is being negotiated, there could be, I'm not saying there will be, I'm not saying there should be. It's not for me to decide. It's for Stephen Ross to decide. There could be / should be, would be, maybe, possibly will be a new GM or a new head coach in Miami, depending upon how far they sink in 2021. 1-7, no one expected that. Anytime a team starts trending up, you expect the trend up to continue. And I think a lot of people are stunned that the Dolphins are as bad as they are right now, and we'll see what happens the rest of the way. And again, Stephen Ross may, the guy who doesn't tell his football people what to do, he may blame them for the fact that the deal didn't get done.
Yeah.
That you guys didn't handle it the right way. You didn't finesse it the right way. Why do I have to do everything around here? I'm up in New York trying to add to my fortune. I hire you people to mind the football store, and you don't know what the hell you're doing. I'm going to go hire other people. Now, he wouldn't put it quite that way, but that would be the message.
Yeah, and no doubt. I mean, again, hey, listen, they've had a lot of assets. They've had a lot of draft picks. We've talked about that. It hasn't really, shined at this point as far as the plan, the picks, all working together. In fact, right now, I mean, I think it's kind of teetering on it's going the wrong way with a lot of the draft picks. I mean, there's been some good, but I think there's probably been more like, I'm not sure that's going to be as good as I thought it was on draft day. There's a little bit of that. So that, of course, is going to pop to the owner when he's evaluating this whole thing. The other aspect of this, too, and I think what Miami really needs to do here, more than anything, too, especially, again, even if they're going to keep the GM and the coach, which I hope they do. I do. I mean, again, they're in a tough division. It sounds like they were forced to draft the quarterback they drafted, because of the owner. So that should
make football decisions.
Well, well, and we know that. But the other thing they got to be good with here is they got to make sure Tua looks good. They do. That's one thing they got to go all in on here down the stretch. If we are here and he is our quarterback, we got to start building confidence and making him feel good and making our team feel good that, hey, Tua's our quarterback and we can win games. Or even if they're hell-bent and they already know he's not the guy, we don't want him to be the quarterback of the future, there's no how, no way, they got to make it look like to somebody else out there that he could be that guy. So when a trade does go down, that there's a want of him too. Because I know there was points on in this trade conversation where, Tua was the oddball here. From everything I've heard from people in the know, the Texans didn't really want Tua. There had to be a third team involved. I know there was a third team involved at one point, but I don't know who it was. But from that aspect, too, they got to make sure Tua looks good and kind of massage this a little bit, too, to where he's still wanted and not viewed as a career backup by the time the season's over.
And again, we get to the end of the season, and we're going to draft later in the show the quarterbacks who had better show they can get it done or they're going to be out.
Yeah.
Because then the team says, hey, what about this guy? What about that guy? What about Tua? Maybe Tua has an opportunity somewhere else in 2022 after a team decides that they're done with the guy that they currently have.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.